Before we jump into today's episode, I just want to say thank you for being a listener. And me and Kyle put our heads together. We're like, let's do a Starbucks giveaway. I know summer is just around the corner here, which is amazing. So it's a great time to grab a coffee, a refresher, a tea, whatever it is you enjoy. So if you want to enter our Starbucks giveaway, all you need to do is follow us on Instagram. You'll see the pin post there. Make sure to just drop a comment down below, tagging a friend, like the post, follow us, boom, bada bing. You're entered. We don't get a ton of people entering these, so we have a great chance to win. So don't miss out on that. Make sure you're following us on Instagram for more value, incredible tips, motivation, inspiration. The Instagram, once again, is at ColossusFit, ColossusUSFIT. But now into the episode. Welcome to the Fit, Healthy, and most of all, Happy podcast. I am your host and coach, Josh, here with
his co-host and co-coach, KG, and I'm fired up.
Like I said, summer's around the corner for a reason, and I got fired up, and I just listed out 7 things you need to be doing this summer to become a fitter, healthier, and happier person. And I'm adding on here, and to have a great summer full of amazing experiences, events, and memories. Let's waste no time and jump into my first tip. And my first tip is such a big one. It's something I've really tried to live my life by. And I mentioned before, you shouldn't really be lying to anyone, but you should absolutely not be lying to yourself. So my first tip for this summer is I want you to keep your promises to yourself. So don't just vaguely say things, because if you just have dreams that don't turn into action, you'll end up being disappointed by those dreams, because they'll be dreams that were never fulfilled. So if you have something you want to do, act on it. So if you want to be fit, work out. If you want to be lean, eat clean and train. If you want to be rich, do the work. Don't quit on yourself, and don't just throw out these things without having any associated action. So if you can isolate what it is you want this summer, if you want to be leaner, for instance, actually make that change and win those small battles. So when you're out at dinner and maybe you want to order a second round of drinks or extra food or dessert when you didn't have the calories, say no. My goal is above my short-term desire right now. So if you have promises to yourself and you want to see something through, stick to them. If you want to go on a walk every day, make a point to do that every single day, no excuses. And even if you do waver, make a point to make sure the next time that decision comes around to succeed in it. But I hear people saying they want to do these things and they'll live so asymmetrically from it, and it creates this weird push-pull inside you where you're like, do I even want this? Like, why am I failing so bad? So instead, when you can isolate those goals, act on them, and be accountable to yourself, hold that promise to yourself. So that is my first tip.
And that's going to bring us into number 2, which is a great one, is be militant with what time you wake up at. So any successful person has a time they get up at, and they typically stick to it. Now, it doesn't need to be perfect. It doesn't have to be to the second every time. But when you wake up, you should wake up with intention. You should have a list of things you need to get done and just stay super consistent with it. Your body's going to enjoy being, your body's a creature of habit. So it allows yourself to know, what time you should be getting up at. You should feel rested from that. And honestly, the earlier, the better. But it doesn't have to be too early. So I think I see a lot of people struggle because they're always trying to keep up with like the Joneses, right? You see online people posting 3 a.m. wake ups, and then, they do random stuff for the next 3 hours. Like, you don't have to copy anyone. You don't have to do anything out of the ordinary, but pick a time that works best for you. Be consistent with it, and don't be that person that's just like 9 a.m. one day, 10 a.m. another, then 4 a.m. and like just all over the place. It doesn't have to be that way, but beating the sun up, especially in the summer, is one of the greatest things, and I really, really recommend doing it. It gives you a sense of fulfillment, feel like you've just accomplished a great win to start the day. So that could be a fun little challenge. I know a lot of people that do. They're ultra productive. That's another thing, is to pay attention to your most productive time. That could be before the sun gets up. That could be, getting to the gym before your kids are up, or whatever the case is. So pay attention to this. I promise you it'll make for a great summer for you.
Yeah, a great way to even start is try getting up maybe 15 minutes earlier than you have previously, and you'll find you actually have more time to mosey through that morning, do productive things, and also just give yourself more time to wake up. And even better, if you take that little bit of extra time you've now gained in your day and you use it to do something nourishing or that will build you up, spend more time prepping a breakfast, make a point to get on a walk, sit outside with your coffee and have 10 minutes of just contemplative time. Like, all these things will yield so much return, and no one feels good hitting the snooze button in the morning. You're not going back to a deep sleep. Usually you're putting off and you're going against that promise you made yourself the day previous. We set that alarm saying, I'm going to get up at this time. Every time you hit snooze, like I said, you're basically just saying, what I want, I don't take that seriously. And when it comes time for you to go to the gym because you need to, you're like, I could not go to the gym today. And when it comes time to eat a healthy meal, you're like, I'm just going to DoorDash something. So set that standard for yourself. And when you're like, hey, I'm already in stride with where I need to be, giving yourself more time, you're leading into a productive morning. I so firmly believe momentum carries, and I find summer people become a little too lax with this, and there's still lots of amazing time to lounge around and have a great time, but I assure you this makes a big difference. It's something I fixed for a lot of my clients. I do notice a big return, so I wish the same for you this summer. My third one is a little bit of a fun one, and that is to master one action every 90 days or any set period of time you prefer. So we do weekly challenges in our summer shred challenge that we have coming up next month, so we actually have a criteria for that week that we really need to stick to. And what's nice about that is you can really narrow in on something for a period of time, a very small period of time, and then you can advance into something else the next week. And you may notice that first thing starts to slack, but what you pay attention to, what you focus on will grow. So for 90 days, if you're like, I'm going to go all out on reading, I'm going to read 10 pages every day. At the end of that 90 days, you might be able to call yourself a reader. You may have built that habit and you can carry that forward as you dive into something else. You could also do this monthly, you could do daily, whatever works for you, whatever inspires you towards any position of growth. And as I said, it doesn't need to be anything drastically crazy. Even if you start meditating for 2 minutes a day for a month, you'd be amazed at how commonplace that will be. So I would challenge you this summer, spend the 90 days pretty much, I guess that more or less is the summer, and really say, what do I want to succeed with during this time? And you'll find that having that extra challenge in the background will fuel your primary goals as you navigate summer.
Very well said. And jumping into number 4 is just simply embracing the suck to build new habits. So there's a lot of things that you can just get started on, and it gets challenging, especially when you're trying to build a new habit. And I use the morning time. I know we've been talking about it, so let's just use that example. Yeah, it might suck. It might be hard. I like Josh's tip of doing increments of 15 minutes here and there. But on that note, it's that time that you spend now will make things a lot easier in the future. And that's just like anything. That could be if you're trying to run a marathon, get started now, go out for those hard runs. You might be sucking wind. It might just not be fun at all, but get ahead of it, because once that time comes, once it's nicer out, once, summer's coming, it's just going to all be habits. And all it really takes, at least in my personal opinion, is around a month of consistently doing something to just have it become second nature and to do things subconsciously. I know there's a lot of different thoughts out there. Some people say 21 days, some people say 66 days, whatever it is, but just put in that work now to know that things will get easier in the future. The gym is a great example, right? You might be skipping it. You might not be going as consistently as you want, but make a habit to do it as much as possible and just allow yourself to build that habit. Your body's going to thank you later. Your mind's going to thank you later. Embrace the suck to build new habits.
Yeah, discomfort will always lead to growth. And when you want to get to a new level, it's outside of the comfort zone you currently know. But embrace that, because when you come through that, that's how you get to that next level, that next echelon, if you will. So I'm really big on that one. Glad Kyle shared it. My next big one for the summer, if you want to be fitter, healthier, and happier, is to set consistent study time. And I'm not saying you got to whip out a textbook, but I'm saying that each and every day you make a point to at least get some learning. And I'm speaking to the right audience because you were listening to this podcast. I would absolutely count that. One thing I really like to do is on a car ride, maybe to work or perhaps home from the gym. I don't like to the gym as much. I'll listen to a podcast or an audiobook. I find that is a really great opportunity to enforce some learning, get some inspiration, build some more motivation. And when you do that consistently, it pays off big time. 10 pages a day is another fantastic opportunity to do that, perhaps before bed. But when you're actually spending time learning and what interests you, maybe you're interested in nutrition, maybe you're interested in training, maybe you're interested in why the stars are where the stars are, whatever it is, it feels really good to grow and improve our knowledge base. And I find when you grow your mind, it really does transfer to growing your body, and it will motivate you just to feel healthier as a whole. So I do find it's quite easier to slack off on summer and just beach it out and drink and really let your goals and everything depart from where you want to be, but I think there's also a really great opportunity to embrace this as a position of growth. And even if you're one of those people that works hard in the winter to enjoy it in the summer, just injecting a little bit of small time each and every day is so powerful. So I really recommend starting with like a certain position of your drive, listening to an audiobook or podcast, and or trying a 5 to 10 a day book challenge or a meditation a day challenge.
Yeah, and that's going to bring us into 6, which is just planning summer activities. Especially if you are trying to join a league or just like get ahead of it, you do have to get started relatively soon, right? So our volleyball email is going to be coming out soon where we're going to have to message and say, hey, who's in and who's not? And we got to take action on that stuff or else we're not going to do it. But my biggest thing here, like Josh said, is like it is easy to just think when you hear summer, you just think patios, barbecues, drinks, this and that. Like I really encourage you to think differently. Nothing wrong with having a good time. There's going to be probably some maybe bachelor parties for some people. There might be some big birthday parties for others. And that's totally cool, right? Don't get me wrong. But there's something just so amazing about utilizing that time to be outdoors. We like to go, mountain biking when it's a bit of a cooler day, not too hot because, that could be a little bit of a challenge. Beach volleyball is absolutely incredible. Some people may want to run. Some people may want to do some hikes. Like really look forward to summer as if it's like not just about, sitting there and doing nothing, but have different things to look forward to. It could be a weekend getaway. Like, especially for us, we're obviously very sports oriented if you can't tell, but to me, there's nothing better than just being able to spend time outdoors, burning calories, doing things we love. For some people, it's golf. Whatever that is, plan ahead. And if you plan ahead, you'll make sure that you do it. If you wait until summer starts, it might be too late for some things, but that's why I'm thinking about it right now personally.
Yeah, even just being active, maybe meet up with a friend for a walk in the morning or go swimming or go do crazy bike. Like summer is so nice because there's just so much you can do and you can mix in a little bit more activity with it. So absolutely big on that one. And what I want to leave you with, a little bit of a different one, but one I think you'll see value from, is to actually set fewer goals. It's really easy just to set a myriad of crazy goals and get lost and kind of forget what they are. But remember, more isn't better. Better is better. So set fewer goals and stick to them. Really have an intention for the summer and really be honest with yourself. If you're not someone who wants to diet throughout the summer, that's okay. Really aim to maintain, be in front of that, set a schedule, make sure you have balance. If you're someone who goes cottaging, you got to be consistent and you got to really win out those earlier positions of the week, and you can absolutely navigate that and then maybe do more of your studying and your downtime at that cottage. So it's working with your situation, setting goals that make sense, and actually aiming to maintain or progress during this time while enjoying it, while having balance. And ultimately, that's what we're really, really about, is sustainable, consistent progress. And I actually find the summer to be one of the easiest times to stay really fit because, as Kyle said, there's a myriad of activities. I find I can be really intentional with my eating. I have really good solutions for barbecuing. So just know this will be a period of time you'll see a lot of success in. We also have our summer shred challenge coming up, so you can learn more about that on our Instagram as well. And just once again, I want to remind you, we got that Starbucks giveaway, so make sure you're following us to take advantage of that. If you love this episode, you want to get in contact with us, you want to ask a question, any of the above, make sure you're following us on Instagram at ColossusFit, ColossusFit. We look forward to connecting with you, and we hope you enjoyed this and you have a fitter, healthier, and happier summer.